What up, Dokkanners? It is time to take on Extreme Super Battle Road for Giant Form. And folks, I no-itemed it, and I did so in about 4 or 5 attempts, and I actually enjoyed it. So this video is going to go over some of the key secrets that you definitely have to know when attempting this stage, because once you know this, it makes the event so much easier, your runs will be so much more consistent, and you actually have a good time doing it. So let's start by going over the actual team build that I ran. I'll also show you a couple other alternate team builds, but I gotta be honest with you folks, I started out with a different team, didn't like it, this was the final result, and I don't think you could beat this another, well I mean I think, no you can, but I feel like this is probably the most consistent and the most cohesive. So the team that I'm running, double Tapion, obviously, it's gotta be Easy A. I've got Physical Cumber, AGL Grade 8 Vegeta, STR Raditz, Physical Kid Goku, and AGL Tora. So I'm gonna go over what each of these units do. And then I'm going to sit back and kind of run through this event with you guys, just sort of to re-experience this, because I did this before without talking, and I felt like it was very important to eliminate the possibility for a stupidity impulse to kick in, so I had to focus. So that's why I did that, and I'm so glad that I did. You're going to see why. So, Tapion, Easy A. You have to have him Easy A because, number one, you get a 160% across the board stat buff for everybody. You also get an extra Giant Form +1. Well, actually, you have that regardless. But the stats are really what matters. You cause immense damage, you lower the enemy's attack and defense, and for the 50% damage reduction that Tapion has, it's so much more significant when you have the extra defense plus 120%. Because that allows for your Tapion, plus with that 160% times 2, you're able to muscle your way through so many super attacks as the first and primary unit on the teams. Your rotations must consist of Tapion on one rotation, Tapion on the other. So that was the primary strategy. Number two, I had to have my Physical Cumber on rotation at all times. Physical Cumber is my secret weapon because of the fact that his passive has a 50% chance to stun the entire team as long as they're super units, which everyone on this event is a super unit. So at any point, if you hit Cumber, you have a 50% chance to get stunned for the rest of the turn, and that happens quite a bit. So while Tapion can tank most of the hits, sometimes you kind of want a little break from some of the damage, right? So if Cumber gets hit with something, and it happens to be the stunning one, the rest of the turn is shut down. And it allows for a couple real awesome quick escapes, and I utilized that quite a bit. So the strategy that I did with those two units was to basically focus both the Tapion's nerfing attack and the Cumber's nerfing attack on the same target. Tapion lowers the enemy's attack by 1, Cumber lowers the enemy's attack by 2. So let's say, for example, the Goku in the leftmost slot here on the opponent's side is attacking Cumber. I've got type disadvantage against that Goku, so that's pretty scary, right? He's STR, I'm physical. So what I want to do is I want to have the AGL Tapion nerf the Goku once, maybe twice if we get the additional. And then Cumber would do the same thing, but times 2. So however many nerfs we can get on that Goku, if Goku then attacks my Physical Cumber, as long as it's not a super attack, because if it's a super attack, we're going to die. But if it's not a super attack, if he just hits me with a regular slap, and I can stun him, then I stun the entire rotation. And if he's the first one to attack me, I want to play the odds by having him get nerfed. And I use that a couple of times here and there, and I get away with it too. It's pretty sweet. Now, for the other secret weapon, and probably the one thing that a lot of you didn't realize, myself included, was that these 3 Easy A's, these 3 being the global Grade 8 Easy A's, JP doesn't have this yet. These 3 units are absolutely busted. Why? Because now there's actually a point when transforming into the Giant Ape form. For these 3 units and these 3 units alone, you have the rare ability of being able to stun your opponent. So normally when you're in this form, as you can see here, the main focus is to get a couple cheap shots in, but for the most part, organize your orbs in such a way that you can kind of set up for a nice attack on the next turn when you revert back. But now, there's actually a point to being a giant form if you're Vegeta, Raditz, or Kid Goku, because all 3 of them will massively raise their attack, and then they can all stun the enemy at a medium chance, which is, I believe, 30%. So more often than not, I found myself stunning the opponents. So what I started to do towards the latter part of the transformed state, either turn 2 or turn 3, you never know, is I started to line up those super attacks so that I could get those hits off on the last turn as the Giant Ape That way I give myself a chance to stun 1 or 2 of the opponents as I go into the next turn where I revert back. And when I do that, I'm actually able to get a couple of turns where I can stun the entire field. So it actually made for a much more consistent experience doing this. And I mean, on this one, we're already pretty much done because we just have 1 guy left. If there's just 1 guy left, Tapion's gonna nerf, Tapion's gonna tank. You throw in the Cumber on the 2nd slot and it's over. Since we've got type advantage here, this is already over. So look at that. We do 1 million on a non-critical. We lowered his attack by 3. This does nothing to me. This one, oh, and he's stunned. Oh, why did he hit me? So that glitch where they still hit you after they get stunned, I didn't know that that was a thing, but it happened to me, and I made a short, so go check that out. I'll try to link that in the description, too, if I remember. I stunned a couple of these guys on a few occasions. Actually, I think it only happened once, really, where the Cumber passive actually triggers, but then they just bypass it anyway and they attack me and kill me, which really made me mad. But yeah, anyway, the Dokkan gauge has been progressing quite a bit here. That's only because this battle went on a bit longer than I wanted. So unfortunately, I will be getting the Dokkan attack in the 2nd round, not the 3rd one. But if it makes you feel better, folks, if you have a similar situation, just keep in mind, you're not going to be doing a lot of damage on your Dokkan attack anyway. Your primary objective should be to maintain this strategy of nerfing and stunning, and then transforming and stunning even more. So for this first round, this is looking pretty scary, right? Tapion's going to eat most of the damage. We got the physical attack coming in. Look at that, 123,000 health taken off. But we are now going to nerf the Super Saiyan Goku because he is the first one who's going to be attacking Tapion. So what I want to do is nerf him as much as possible. So we nerfed him twice thanks to Tapion. So that's 2 attack levels taken down. Vegeta also attacks Tapion, so this is going to hurt. Another 125,000, so we're already below 50% health going into turn 1. Now Cumber's going to nerf Goku by 2. So now when he hits me, 107, boom. We trigger the passive, we stun the entire team, they have been shut down, and now everybody else gets to do their thing. So now that we're below 50%, Tapion gets to use the Harudegarn ability. It's a guaranteed transformation below 50%, and we now get to start unloading on these guys. So at this point, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be launching a Dokkan attack or not. So I decided to go after a Piccolo so that I can maximize the damage that I do per turn. And my primary focus on most of these units is additional. Additional, additional, additional. I always say that because it's important, and probably even more so here, because additionals are not only going to help you in your untransformed state, you can nerf the opponent once, maybe twice, but then when you're in your transformed state as a giant form unit, sometimes you want to launch a cheap shot while also fixing up your orbs for the next turn when you revert back, right? And that's not going to happen if you focus primarily on critical, not giving you much of an opportunity to launch an additional super attack. If you've got a high additional, if you pick up only 1 orb and your key count doesn't reach maximum, you still have a chance to launch a free super attack while also setting up your orbs for your units on the next turn, which is what I utilize a couple of turns here and there. Also, if you get shafted like I did on these orbs, for crying out loud, look at this is horrible. You're not going to get any super attacks. So let me actually see. Do I get a super attack here? None of them were able to complete the circuit. So do I get one? After I dodge all these, there's that. Do I get the additional? No additional there. Cheap shot. Come on. Nope, nothing there. We're getting the last one. If it doesn't happen here, it definitely happens on other rotations. Additional? Nope, nothing yet. All right. No. Had we had one, we would have killed Piccolo for free. But now that we're back, we've got a bunch of nice orbs laid out for us. So I want to heal a little bit, so I'm going to give Tapion that... Oh, I'm going to give Tapion those orbs. Okay. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention this. AGL Tora is also on the team for the heal factor. And at this point, I was trying to see if I could maybe get away with not using a Dokkan attack. It was kind of stupid. Of course I'm going to get a Dokkan attack. Look at how much health is left on the opponent. And look at where my Dokkan gauge is. I should have just picked up those matching orbs for the heals. But I didn't. Tora is great because Tora nerfs the enemy's attack by 1. Tora also heals you by 18% if you've got a full giant form team, which you should. So you'll be getting small increments of your health back through Tora. That's your main source of health. That's your only source, actually, other than a Dokkan attack. But like I said, Dokkan attacks are not going to be happening that often, and it's also not going to yield much because you don't have any sort of colossal damager here. You don't have much in terms of offense. Unless you use a Dokkan attack with Raditz, I don't foresee getting much back in terms of health. So at this point, I'm trying to bum rush these guys to see if I can kill them. I think halfway through this, I kind of realize that it's just not going to happen. So I think after this turn, I focus on Vegeta to kind of distribute the damage evenly, so that way when I get the Dokkan attack, I can maybe kill both. So let's see what happens here. Let me see if you can get that additional super attack here. Additional? No. Okay. Tapion with his EZA on the giant form, he greatly raises attack while causing destructive damage and lowering defense. Lowering defense doesn't factor in too much, but still it helps. Every little bit helps. So yeah, let's focus on Vegeta now. Let's bully Vegeta a little bit. 3 free attacks. Let's do it. I love that. Adding insult to injury. You are dodging attacks, and you're a giant form. That's just mean. 1 million. Love it. Additional. Look at that. Look at that. About 2 million damage just dealt right there. Oh wait, no, that wasn't additional. That was my second super. Just kidding. 600k, and that's it. So now we revert back. And ideally, you would want to have Raditz do the Dokkan attack there, but more important than Raditz is Tapion. Tapion's got to be here, but look at my health. I got 62,000 health. I'm almost dead. But being below 80%, that triggers my global EZA's maximized abilities, not maximal. Under 80%, that's the magic number, 80%. Raditz gets stronger, Goku gets stronger, and Vegeta gets stronger.
Time to get serious.
So here's the Dokkan attack. It's not going to do a whole lot. I don't think it kills either one, in fact.
Gonna go all out.
I think we're focusing on the Goku? Yeah, we're focusing on Goku. So I've got 3 attacks from Goku, and I've got 1 attack from Vegeta happening here, so I got to make a decision. Do I nerf Goku or do I nerf Vegeta? So I'm kind of hoping for a stroke of good luck here, so I nerf Goku. Not able to kill him. Not able to kill Vegeta either. I was kind of hoping to kill Vegeta. So now Cumber is really at risk. So I'm trying to nerf the Goku, because that was my original target. I was kind of hoping the collateral damage from the Dokkan attack would kill Vegeta, but then I got the dodge! The dodge saved my life. I gave him, I think, 9 dodge. Let me actually check my hidden potential. My Cumber has 6 dodge. 6 dodge, and that saved me. And then when Goku hit me, since I nerfed him 3 times, he didn't do anything to me, so I was able to stun the whole team and shut him down. And now, with a speck of health left for the Vegeta, we take this and we move on to the final round. I could just slap him and I could win. Sad thing, this doesn't help our health at all. I was kind of hoping this would give us a percentage of our health back, but bye-bye. 100k. He had under 100k health. On to the final stage. No Dokkan attack. Under 50% health. How on earth are we going to beat these guys? Let's see. Oh yeah, this is how. Guaranteed transformation under 50%. So we're going to start off strong with the Harudegarn. So my first thought is to try to get as many cheap shots in on the Super Saiyan 3 just to take him out as quickly as possible. Because I have PTSD, even to this day, from my first few attempts in Dokkan in general. One of my first few significant Super Battle Roads was Giant Form, and I think I lost more often than not to that Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 3. So in order to prevent that from happening again, I focused my efforts on him, and dude, that was a 1 million damaging attack. That's all that did? Jeez. How did I beat this, man? Oh, that's how. Their health is pretty low. It looked like a lot at first, but yeah, it's a lot better now. Alright, so there's one attack. We got one more turn. So I could either set up for some orbs for next turn, or I just focus on getting more super attacks off. Also, what you want to be doing is paying attention to the attack placement. Trunks attacked at the end, so the chances of him attacking early are low, but since we're still transformed, it doesn't really matter. Alright, so one attack inbound, second attack, not so much. And what do I want to do here? What did I choose? Okay, so I chose to keep those orbs for next turn. In case we don't, in case we revert back. So Tapion attacked early, which means he might attack early on the next rotation. There's that additional, told ya. Team additional, baby. Goku attacked late, okay. So he likely won't attack right at the beginning of the next turn. Alright. And we lose the form. So all of these AGL orbs are going to help us heal. Plus, we get an 18% heal thanks to Tora. Tora is key. Look at all the attacks happening early. So we give those blue orbs to Tapion. We heal a little bit more. I give the physical orbs to Cumber to heal a little bit more. Here, I have Tapion attack Tapion. And then I have Cumber attack Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So that way, we're nerfing both the units that will be striking my Cumber in the middle. And I'm really hoping that Cumber will activate that stun on one of those hits. That's my escape plan here. 1.8 million attack stat. I focus solely on additional on this guy, 20 additional. So we nerfed his attack once. 63k, but we got the stun. So we lucked out. We took a big hit there, but it could have been way worse. Thankfully, Tapion nerfed him. And now Tora is ending the rotation by nerfing Tapion even more. Also, Tapion's super attack does raise his attack, I've noticed. So now they're not stunned. Raditz gains 80% attack when HP is under 80%. I had to remind myself of that here. So I once again go after Tapion, because Tapion is going to be attacking in the middle slot. So whoever gets hit in the middle slot, I want to be nerfing Tapion first because he's the first one to be hitting. And instead of having Raditz there, I'd rather have Vegeta. Also, Goku's looking kind of weak. Does he die this turn? I think he does. So there's one nerf. Okay, we don't get a second one. So he's been taken down a couple of levels now. I think 3 or 4. Trunks has been untouched this entire fight. So Vegeta gets the full passive thanks to the under 80%. We get the additional, which is great, because now he can mitigate the damage even more. So how much he takes here? Double digits. See that? That's why nerfing and additionals are so important. So yeah, bye-bye. 2.3 million attack stat, or 2.3 million damage, I should say. So that takes out one guy. So we only have 2 people left. So we can nerf Tapion, because he's the first one to attack Cumber. He's the only one to attack Cumber. And I'm going to have Cumber also nerf him, and then Goku can begin his assault on Trunks. So at this point, it's just a matter of playing this out. But we got this in the bag. It is pretty scary, though. Being under 50% for this long, it's very unnerving, but these guys with their EZAs, man, they're just too good. They're really good. Alright, so we've nerfed Tapion on another 2 levels. How much does he damage me for? 75! Look at how much health I had! 75, folks! We stunned them all. 10,000 health. Oh, 10,000 health. What the heck? Alright. How do we do this? Let's hope for some additionals. Let's not hope for some additionals. Alright, what happens here? We're definitely going to have one more turn before we revert, so I can fix up the orbs on the next turn. Oh, did we get the additional? Oh, we did! We did. Alright. Chipping away at Trunks' health, that's good. Alright, here we go. Last turn, possibly. So I'm going to try to set up for some nice orbage. Can't really find anything good here, so I kind of just do whatever. Couldn't even get a super attack off. That's how bad the orbs were. Keep in mind, I got 10,000 health, so I'm kind of nervous here. But as long as we can open with a Tapion, we're going to be fine, which is why I said Tapion's got to be here. We got the additionals. Those additionals came in clutch. See that? That is why Team Additional rocks. I think we killed Trunks. Yep, Trunks is dead. We didn't have a single super attack set up here, but we were able to launch 2 supers regardless. And we also got 1 more free turn thanks to Tapion's leader skill. So instead of choosing the guaranteed super attack, I instead leave those orbs for next turn when I revert back. Because even if we launch 3 super attacks, it's not a guarantee we're going to kill Tapion here. But we still got the additional anyway! Yes! 600k. Defense has been lowered a little bit, so we're kind of softening him up. Another additional! I'm telling you, folks! Alright, so now the mitts are coming off. We got the 18% heal thanks to Tora. That was so clutch. Because now if we get hit with a super, we can probably still tank it thanks to Tapion. We also get another heal thanks to Vegeta. And this is the final turn, I think. Yep. We get to nerf him. And then Vegeta gets to launch a nice crispy super attack. 4.3 million attack stat. Are you kidding me? That takes him out. And there you have it, folks. Giant form, Extreme Super Battle Road, no items. Like I said, the global EZAs are absolutely essential. Their transform state can stun. That is your only means to stun the opponent other than the physical Cumber and his ability to stun the entire team. At 50% capacity, a very useful ability. So main rotation should always have Tapion. Try to accompany him with a Cumber on one of the rotations. On the other rotation, it could be anybody. But hopefully you guys had just as good luck as I did on these runs. EZA's carry. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments what team you ran, and did you do this no item? If not, you're going to try it now, because like I said, it's actually fun. What the heck? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future, and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again, stay tuned, and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.